Greetings and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. In this video, we'll be continuing our gameplay of the game Inflection Point. This is part 3 of our Battle of Kalach play, and we will be kind of just picking right up. If you didn't watch the first 2 parts, you probably would want to, so that you have an idea of what's going on and what's already transpired. And we are going to pick things up. We just finished the activation and operations of the 16th Panzer. You can see some of their units up here and over here. There's a couple that are off shot at the moment, but we are at the point of drawing our chits. I'm using the optional chit draw rule to kind of keep things interesting since I'm playing solitaire. So we have the 196th Rifle Division, the 113th Infantry of the Germans, and the 3rd Motorized, also German. So we will be using the 3rd Motorized. We're going to drop these 2 back in the cup. They will get drawn out again at a later time. All right. Now, the 3rd Motorized is right here. Right here. It's a little bit off shot, but we will be using that one as our next activated unit. We had 2 Soviet units to start. That's in part 1. Then we had the 16th Panzer, which was in part 2. And now we're going to have the 3rd Motorized here in part 3. I'm going to try to do this quickly enough so that we can maybe get a second activation here in this part before going on to part 4. I do plan on at least doing the entirety of turn 1. This is a 10-turn scenario, and obviously it would move a lot faster if I wasn't trying to explain things as we go along. But I do want this to be useful to you guys, the viewers. All right, so quick look at our status for the 3rd Motorized here. You can see it's got 0 fatigue and 1 artillery point. Now the plan here will probably be somewhat similar to what we did last activation with the 16th Panzer. We are actually probably going to hit this unit with infantry, I would assume. And then I'm going to try and send some of the more spearheady type units. I don't think this one actually has a spearhead unit in it. It doesn't, because the 16th Panzer was one of the spearheads, and the other ones will come on later through reinforcement, so we probably won't see them in this video series. But anyway, we're going to enter our units here, and you would get, well, before you do anything, you actually put your combat train and your headquarters. And taking a quick look at the headquarters here, you can see their command range is the 10. They normally have 3 artillery, so that's pretty solid. And they will move at some point, but you can see they've got a 12 movement range and a 4 for activation. All right, so I'm just going to put those guys right there, and then we'll start talking about moving them on. So we've got recon, a recon unit here, which is really good for movement. This is a single-sided unit. Now, if you wonder about steps, the 6 up there at the top, the yellow 6, that indicates it's got 6 steps. This is a pretty tough unit. So that will be one of our units we'll be bringing on. We do have an armored unit. Right, this is the 103rd Battalion there. It's got on its movement side a movement of 14. On its deployed side, of course, it's 4. But you get a better combat armor value, right, of 3 there, but only 2 there. And the 5 is the AR. So you would use those together, actually, for combat. But we're probably going to start with that one. But we do, first of all, have to go through our sequence of play. So we're in HQ initialization, right? So we're going to put that here. So we're going to flip this guy to used to show that he's been used. He is going to move this turn most likely, but he's already on the movement side by being flipped over to that side. Then we're going to go to preparation. Combat trains, yeah, we're not going to worry about the combat trains. Our MSR is good. All the stuff under preparation is already taken care of because we're entering from off map. So we're going to go right to the SNAFU roll. Now our SNAFU level is pretty simple to calculate in this situation. We have a fatigue of 0, so we don't get the fresh fatigue. We don't have to worry about anything else in there except for our game-specific SNAFU DRM. Now this came up in the previous activation in the previous video, but we'll go through it again here just for repetition's sake. Well, first of all, when I mentioned a second ago that the third motorized was not a spearhead, it is a spearhead. So the spearhead gives us a +1 DRM. All other German units, and aside, I'll run them down for you here. So we've got the 16th Panzer, which we already activated. 24th comes in later. Then we've got the 3rd motorized and the Kampfgruppe 60, but not 60th motorized. Those are our spearheads. Everybody else is going to get a -1 DRM. Okay, so the +1 is good. We want a higher roll here, so that helps. Okay, then moving on down the list, we have optimal distance, so that's also a +1. So we're at +2, and we don't have any other things here impacting us. We're on a secondary road here, so we don't have to worry about trafficability or using because we're not using tracks. And so that's it. We're just going to roll here, and I need to grab my dice over there. All right, and we got a 7, and a 7 +2 is a 9, and a 9, well, a 7 by itself is a full. I've adjusted the shot here because I wanted to kind of explain my thinking. So we are going to, this is a spearhead, right? The 3rd motorized. So Kalach is that way, right? And we want to get there. Now, the Don River, you can see a little bit of it right here. It kind of goes off map and then around, and it comes back in further to the south, right to the south of this area right here. So I'm going to push the 3rd motorized, right? Now this is a situation where in the notes for Kalach by Lionel Martinez, he talks about you want to go deep and not like 10 hexes deep, like 50 hexes deep. So, and don't worry about your flanks, right? The Germans are kind of operating against the time because that Stalin directive is coming, and that's going to up the ante on the Soviet side, giving them some ability to punch back. So while it's tempting to take these 2 guys out, I'm going to actually set them as objectives in case I want to use some of my infantry to knock them out. So I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here, and I'm not going to use a double, right? Because the idea that I have in my head is the Kampfgruppe 60, which is also a spearhead and is right here. It's going to come in at this hex right here. I can use that to push in and hit the 192nd Rifle, as well as the 60th motorized, which is not a spearhead. That's going to be my main force as far as trying to kind of hit the 192nd and knock them back and out of the way. And then we're just going to kind of open field running this way towards Kalach with the 3rd motorized and Kampfgruppe 60. All right. Okay, so we're going to have these as our objectives. Now, my general thought is I have my recon unit, which has a movement factor of 16. Right. So if I bring it in here and we go 1, because it's half, 2, 3, 4. Right. So we're here now, and this is where I want to get to. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That leaves us a little short. If I go down the road, we're also going to end up short because it's one movement point on here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Is that right? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, no, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're still going to end up a little bit short. So we're going to put him here, and I'm going to cock him to indicate that he has been used. And now that's just movement. So we're not done. We're not stopped or anything. So I can try for a second activation, which would then allow me to push him into here. And the point of getting here is we're going to cut the supply line, because we have units of the 16th Panzer are in here, right above my finger, right there, or right below my finger. They are sitting on this road, which this road connects to, and that's the combat train for the 33rd Guards Division, which is already cut off, because all their combat units are beyond that point in that direction to the west. And this is the combat train for the 192nd Rifle. So if I can take this crossroads, I cut the supply to that. I don't know that they can. Maybe they can trace it. They'd have to trace it over here, and that's not going to be easy. So yeah, that's worth doing. That is definitely worth doing. Give them MSR problems and make them susceptible to negative impact, and make them a little bit easier to kind of smash and get them out of the way, so that our 3 units here can head down. Because we also have units over there. We have the 113th Infantry, which is not a spearhead, and they're going to push in, moving west. So, or east rather, sorry. They're going to be moving east, and we're going to push south, southeast, mostly with these guys, to get down there to Kalach. All right, so enough talking, let's get it moving. So we moved that there. Now we've got our armor here. We're going to flip him over, and he's going to follow the same general path, although I think I'm going to send him this way. And I'll need to move my headquarters probably somewhere, like the range is 10. So I'll figure that out later, because I'll move him last. But we're going to take him, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How much further do I want to go? Let me just leave him like that. I don't want to push him too far out. I guess, although, well, if we're going to push, let's push. 7, 8. And then let's start heading south, I think. So we were here at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll put him here. Okay, so now we're already moving out, right? We're going to come in behind the Soviets and cut them off, basically. That's the plan. That's the hope. That's support, so that'll stay with our HQ. Then we've got some motorized infantry here that we can move on their trucks. Got 3 of those guys right here. That's the support unit. And then we also have this pioneer unit. And if we flip him to his movement side, his movement is a 12. The black indicates he's a truck movement. I think I'm actually just going to leave him. We're going to just move him in, and we're going to go 1, 2. Stop him right there. Then we'll move this guy. This is the 3rd. And we'll move him here. Or maybe we'll just move him here with that'll be 8. There are 2. They are prepared defense, so they'll get a little bonus there. So now that we've moved those 2, let's attack. Okay, so tightened up so you get a nice good look here. So what we have, right, our defender is here. They have an AR of 2. Now, because they're alone in their hex there, they get they have to be the AR unit, right? So that just means that you have like a lead unit, and some games would call it a lead unit, right? For the Germans, it'll be a 4. This is our lead unit. They've also, of course, got underneath there, they've got their pioneer, which will also help in the attack, okay? So, butterfingers here. All right, now, for figuring out our combat table, so dual or appropriate support. I'm not going to use the support here for this. We do have support, and it's actually probably close enough to actually use it, but I'm not going to do so. Because technically this guy should be with them, right? As well as one of these. And the other one is going to be on his own, kind of coming in, and these two will probably go down here and attack that, right? That's the idea anyway. And that might be second activation, because we'll probably need to go down the tracks and kind of go around this guy and then come in and do that. That's the idea. Anyway, going back to our modifiers here. Okay, so support, no. Then we've got attacker only, double objective, no. Attacker has prepared defense, no. We will fire a suppression mission, so I guess we need to do that first. So we're going to do a barrage. This is an air point marker. We have 7 of them. Yes, I was going to roll, and you can only use 1. So we'll be using the 1 side here, which will leave us with 6. So it's an automatic +2 on our combat. So we do get a +2 for our suppression mission. This is a regular attack. And we don't have an assist. So we just have a +2. And their combat rating's an 8, so that's a 10. The Soviets have a 7 or a 3. So the difference is 7 because they have prepared defense. They don't have any other modifiers here. I'm going to roll. And we got a 9, and a 9 plus 7 is a 16, and that is going to be a D2, and they are a 5-step unit, so they're going to lose 2 steps, and they must retreat. The retreat rules, okay, this is not a voluntary retreat. This is an automatic retreat. So they are leg, and do they have HQ refuge? If that only exists if the unit can retreat at least 3 hexes from its starting hex and end within 1 of its HQ, which it cannot do. So it's going to actually take its 2-step losses, and it's going to go off map and come back next turn. We move this and this. We've taken our objective here. We have zoomed back out here. Now let's move our next group here. So we have these 2 guys right here. I'm going to put them both on their move side, and they're going to come in and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I should leave them on there. I guess it doesn't really matter. We're going to put them right here, right next to the objective. Now this attack is going to, and it's not going to happen on this activation. I'll do it on our second activation, but this one, obviously, that's sitting on a main road there. And the Russians do have a supply point right here that, well, it depends on which way you trace. It's going to be cut most likely in terms of providing supply, because it's not going to get to either of the 2 units that are closest to it as far as supply determination. But anyway, so we got that there. Then we're going to actually move this and this as well. Now the range, as I mentioned on here, is a 10. And he's got a 12 movement, and he's going to move. Let's see. We'll go down the road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's see where we are in relation to our units. So looking, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. That's obviously close enough. Then we'll check back to here. Whoops. Just leave that there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 back to there, which is fine. And it's on a secondary road. So we're good. We're going to stop them here. And that actually ends our activation. So now we would remove our objective things. So I removed 1. I'm going to remove this one as well. And we'll move on to let's see, what else do we have? Combat trains not optimal distance. They are, so we don't have to worry about that. Fatigue, we did do an attack right there. So we do need to check fatigue. We had an attack. Well, no, we didn't do. We did do a combat objective. So we roll, and if it's a 1, then we get a fatigue, and it's a 6, so we don't get fatigue. Now we go back to here, isolation. We just checked that we don't have anybody isolated. So now we're going to rotate this guy to done, because we're going to try for a second activation. Now we have a 4 is our target number. So we roll 1d6 and hope for the best. And we got a 4, so we're good. All right, so we do have a second activation. Now we will do SNAFU to figure out whether it's a partial or a full or none. So we are going to roll. Let's look at our modifiers. We are not fresh. Our fatigue is 0. None of the other things apply. Optimal distance, at least 5, no more than 15. That applies because that is less than 15. It's 11, I believe. So we're good there. And we're not using tracks. It's on the road. And combat trains, no. So I guess we get a +1, and that's it. Oh, and we get the DRM, so we get a +2, which I forgot last turn for the 16th Panzer. I was like, well, I thought I had 2, and I only had 1, because I forgot the specific. So we're going to roll here, and we get a 7, which we know +2 equals 9. That is a full activation again. Now, all right, in terms of objective, I'm going to double tap this one. So double tap means double objective. It's this one, actually, not that one. That one. Double tap. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do, because these guys, I'll probably flip to move, and we'll just trek down the main road here. And these guys are going to flip, but we'll get to that in a moment. So that's our double. So we did that. We placed our objectives. Now we're going to do our activities. Now this is where things are going to get a little interesting here. So we're going to flip these guys over to their active side, their deployed side, rather. And they're going to attack, and it's the same situation except that we are across a river. So there's going to be terrain, hex side terrain. Okay, so we're going to again use one of our air points, which will leave us with 5. And we will be attacking across a hex side feature. So that's going to give a +1 to the defender. Now, the other stuff is all pretty much going to be the same. We're going to get a +2 for suppression. And that is it. So we're going to get a 10. And they're going to have a 4 this time, 1 for prepared defense and 1 for hex side terrain. So it's a 6 bonus. We'll roll. We got a 9. And that is, let's see, on the combat result, 9 + 6 is 15. Again, that's going to be a D2 and a retreat. Now, their HQ is right here, but that's still more than 3 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5 away. So they are going to, oh, and we also had the double objective, which would have actually given us another 1, but it doesn't really matter. So, but I do want to mention that. So our total was actually 11, not 10. We're going to pull this off. Actually, we can save that till the end, right? These guys get knocked out. These 2 move up. They're going to move that way. Take that off. We have 5 left. These guys get, whoops. Their total is now 3. Whoops, backwards, 3. And so they will return on their move side next turn, along with a couple other units that had the same fate. All right, and let's see. Let's move some other people. So let's see if they stay in that mode, they can go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. I'm just going to put them there. just in case. Well, they've already been activated, so they're not going to be able to do anything till next turn. But I don't want these guys to fall too far behind. So let's put them in this mode. So they started here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're going to sit them right there. They're going to sit right there, which is off shot, I guess, right? Yeah, it's off shot. Okay, so they are right here. They are sitting at that crossroads and cutting supply to both the 192nd Rifle and the 33rd Guard Division, which is already kind of blocked anyway by the 16th Panzer, but now they're kind of doubly blocked. So we put the Russians in a bit of a bind here. Now our recon unit, we're going to push him on too. Now I do want to, I'm going to move this guy again, and that means I probably have to move my my combat train as well. So we're gonna talk about that here momentarily. But we're going to move, let's see. Well, let's move him first. So he's got a 16. We're talking about terrain here, of course. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I expanded the shot here so that you can actually see. I stopped the recon here. Now he's got more movement, but I don't want to kind of outrun the the HQ here. So we're going to move him. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know that we need to go much further than that. So we're going to move him here. And then we'll move our HQ with its support, which has a move. The support also has a 12 movement. So I didn't flip them because I kind of forgot. But we're just going to go 1, 2. Now we need to find out where we need to be, and this is where things might get a little dicey here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And is this one 10 from this guy too? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. So we'd have to kind of probably be here or here. So we'll move him here because he can get there. So I'm going to put him right here. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're out. Which is fine. We'll deal with that next turn. They'll have to catch up, basically. I want to keep my spearhead units in range here. That's the general idea. Now we have to do something with our combat train. Now, as far as combat trains, they can move wherever you want. You just pick them up and move them, basically, but then they become what's called ghost. So we're just going to pick it up, and I'm going to move it somewhere along here to where it can trace back to our supply point here. And that's going to be right here where it crosses the track. Now, and we have to flip it. So this is what the ghost side looks like. Get a good look at that, right? And we'll flip it back next turn automatically because it will be, it will create an MSR. So the MSR basically just says that you have to have hexes that can trace from here to here along a primary, secondary road or a track. Now we do have track, and that's just the nature of Russia, right? Russia in 42, you're out in, a very wide open area here. Not a lot of terrain, not a lot of real roads crossing it. So for tracks, what they're going to do is that actually will cause us to have to use the tracks DRM on SNAFU, and we'll have to look at trafficability on the next time that that this unit gets activated. Now, since that won't really happen in the video series, most likely, just to kind of give you an idea. So if trafficability, we'd have good trafficability, which is what we have, because there's no real, nothing impeding it here. We'd have a -1. If we had poor trafficability, we'd have a -2. I won't really get into, what makes it good or poor, just because I don't want to spend the time on it. If you have the game, you can look in the rules. But just keep in mind that again, one of the primary things you need to keep in mind is keeping your supply in good shape. Next turn, this guy will have an issue with being out of command, but we'll be able to get him back into command. I wanted to leave, I had to leave him here because they were finished after combat. So I'm going to remove that because we're basically done. I will have to do a fatigue roll. We'll do that in a minute. But we've got tank units, right? And they're well within range of attacking this guy. So now they're relatively weak at 2. This one is a 2. This one's a 4. So, but we've got 8 here, and our primary would be a 4. So either way. All right, so that completes the activation here of the 3rd motorized, and I said I wanted to get 2, but that obviously did not happen because it takes a long time, I guess, to go through an activation when you're talking about what's going on. And maybe I'll look at how I can speed this up for the subsequent activations that will be coming up in part 4. That is, well, let me do my fatigue roll. So we had a combat. So we again only get a 1. If we get a 1, then we get additional fatigue. We got a 3. That means no fatigue. So that is going to do it for this one. We will return here with part 4 in the not too distant future. I'm trying to churn these out as quickly as possible to kind of keep the momentum and ensure that people who are interested in seeing a decent amount, at least, of gameplay of the Battalion Combat Series can do so, or they just want to get a look at what the Kalach battle looks like. So that's it. I'm done. Quick shout out to my channel members. Thank you for your support. For everyone else, thanks for watching. If you have questions or comments, please post them in the comment section. Otherwise, I thank you for watching and hope you would consider liking, sharing, hyping, or if you're not already a subscriber, perhaps subscribing to the channel. Even if you don't, hope you'll come back and check out something else in the not too distant future. So thanks again, and until next time, I'm Joe. This is Hexed Encountered, and as always, happy gaming.